I am a game developer. I create games to entertain people. Usually, when I say that I create games, people think this is what I do. That, that I spend my whole time playing video games and getting paid for it. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes it's like this. At least my face is like this when I keep dying all the time in the same level. But most of the times, it's like this. Create a game is not an easy job, at least a good and engaging game. There are a lot of parts to create the experience of a game. And in my case, I don't only code. It's deeper than that. I create heroes, I make up monsters, and design whole new worlds for the players. When I was a kid, I remember enjoying so much playing video games, even more than now. Also, I kept telling my parents all the time that when I grow up, I wanted to get paid for playing video games. What a crazy job for a kid like me, isn't it? But my grandparents always have supported me. And they were telling me, yes, little Sergi, whatever you like. Also, if for them it was the same crazy idea if I wanted to become an astronaut. But here I am. I always wanted to play video games, but now I'm even happier. I am creating them. I remember a lot playing all these old graphic adventure games. They were my favorite. They were so engaging, so fascinating. You had immediate feedback of every action that you perform. Action, reaction, interaction helped me to understand and learn quicker. Maybe now you are thinking that I was the kind of kid that after school I was all the time playing video games. Wrong. I was this kind of kid. I used to play 2 sports, took extra English classes, as you can see from my accent, and, and play a lot of football with my friends in Barcelona. As any other kid, I only wanted to have fun and play. My parents, as many others, took me to different places. For example, theaters, theme parks, but also to a very boring ones, like museums and art exhibitions. I don't remember any time in museums, because I wasn't stimulated enough. I found them very dull. No feedback, no interaction, nothing. But I do remember this. I do remember my first experience in museums, and it was in the Science Museum of Barcelona, where I could play by my own and experience what science was about. Okay, so this is what is happening right now with kids in museums. Kids are getting bored in museums. They are getting very bored in museums. This is what I was telling you. It's the same that it happened to me years ago. I got bored in museums. Okay, so I've been talking about the lack of interaction here, so let's be a little bit more interactive. Raise your hands who got bored in museums when you were a kid. Okay, thank you. Okay. Okay. This is what we are finding nowadays in museums. Kids are not interested. This kid, he seems more interested in his Nintendo DS than in the whole amount of world history that is surrounding him. These are my ideas for changing this. I strongly believe that museums need to entertain visitors in order to educate them. Also, a good point is people need to have a good experiences in museums to be able to learn. Education and entertainment can't and shouldn't be separated, especially for kids, who are the ones who learn faster and got entertained easier, because they could profit of this combination of entertainment and education. Okay, there are a lot of research out there about education and entertainment. that confirms what you and me probably have experienced. For example, there is one research about a science museum that says that visitors learn most effectively when they rate their experience as both highly entertaining and educational. Behavioral science, in terms of entertainment, in forms of interaction, immediate feedback, and rewards, increases motivation. All the motivation power that is used in the learning process is called gamification of education. Okay. This is a good quote that Marshall McLuhan said 50 years ago. Anyone who tries to make a distinction between education and entertainment doesn't know the first thing about either. I like this quote, and I agree 100% with it. Because even nowadays, we think that education is the enemy, entertaining is the enemy of the education, but they are not enemies. They reinforce each other. They help each other. If you ask children what is work, they will tell you school and homework. But if you tell them what is play, most of them, they will tell you play. So I think it's a good idea to use gamification of education for this purpose. You already know that I create games, but what you don't know is that I don't create the kind of games that you probably have played before coming here today. I create educational games for kids in museums. And this is how they look like. Kids want to play. Why don't give them what they want? Give them educational games with a good balance between entertainment and education, using augmented reality technology to embed reality and games. These games need to have a lot of feedback, a lot of immediate feedback, a lot of interaction. Kids will play, have fun, and learn. Okay, the following video that you are going to see is about kids playing and learning about some exhibition that they wouldn't be normally interested in. Let's see.
Like it? I feel like it's a good and adventurous game, basically. The game is about finding all treasures and finding pearls and decorating things. So then. It's like you created the game because it has a lot of creativity and a lot of stuff to search. What feels like it's actually really coming to life when you have to show it. It feels like it's actually you're in it. You can see the boat. You're in the water.
Well, it's really good.
The best part was designing the pearls and the objects that you find in the treasures. Because I'm learning about sea stuff. Said we're gonna go on a journey. It's really good and it's very fun to learn about that game. It's just very educational for kids.
Well, I feel like I'm in a different world. I'm under the sea.
Well, I like to you can choose different countries. You could run away from the sharks.
Well, I really enjoyed the game, and I hope other people enjoy it too.
They are so fun, these kids. Okay, games helps to engage learners in ways other tools and approaches cannot. Games are helping kids to be more familiar with arts and helping them as well to associate museums and exhibitions with fun. Educational games as well helps to channel a child's energy into an activity that motivates and educates them. For me, the future of education in museums for kids and outside of them would be education, which is entertaining, just like TEDx.